Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 11 starts now.
Good evening. A recently released grand jury report out of Madera County showing interim McFarland City Manager David Tooley gave himself a hefty pay raise along with other senior staff members over the course of 3 years.
23 ABC's Tori Cooper has more from the grand jury report and its ties to David Tooley.
David Tooley was previously serving as the Madera City Manager, but in May, he was appointed to the interim McFarland City Manager position after the disappearance of John Wooner. But 23 ABC learned many Madera residents were angry in 2017 when their water rates were raised and they learned the city was paying excessive salaries to senior staff. The concern prompting a Madera County grand jury investigation into the city's salaries and water rates. The report shows in 2015 salaries of management staff were increased from 11 to 44%, and during that same time period, water rates increased between 9 to 10%. And their data also shows other senior staff members received excessive pay raises. Tooley made more than $260,000 in 2016 with benefits, and his total pay was more than $337,000 as the Madera City Manager. TransparentCalifornia.com claims it gets all of its information from public records requests. The website shows Hanford, which has a comparable population to Madera, the city manager made about $241,000. The Fresno city manager made about $30,000 less than Tooley, but Fresno has 5 times the population. The report also found that the city did not have a written code of ethics for senior officials or an adequate follow-up ethics training. It also shows there was a lack of transparency towards residents. Tooley did not respond to our request for a comment, but McFarland Mayor Manuel Cantu, who declined to go on camera, says Tooley was highly recommended by the League of California Cities group of retired city managers. Cantu says he also knew that Tooley eventually submitted a resignation to the Madera City Council and that he retired shortly after, but he did not specify if it was related to the grand jury investigation. I'm Tori Cooper for 23 ABC News, connecting you.
The city of Madera also issued a statement to 23 ABC News saying, quote, "The city takes the grand jury report seriously. We are working through the findings and will address the concerns raised in the report as required by law," end quote. The city has less than 90 days to respond to the report, and when they do, we'll bring you the details as soon as they become available.
1.7 million people have said they're going, another 1.3 million interested in storming Area 51, the Facebook event page garnering international attention. And it all began on the keyboard of a Bakersfield man's computer. 20-year-old Maddie Roberts, the creator of that viral Facebook group called Storm Area 51, the Can't Stop of Us All event. The Bakersfield College student who's majoring in petroleum engineering says the Facebook event created on June 27th. By day 3, it had over 1 million people interested in finding out what mysteries lie inside the base. That according to the description of the event Facebook page. Roberts saying he and his friends hoping to create an out-of-this-world experience for their followers, but one that does not actually include storming the base or breaking the law.
I want to make it like a festival of sorts. I want to have a bunch of different music artists, everybody from the EDM world, and then maybe some indie rock, maybe some smaller guys that are up and coming. I've had a lot of people DM the page, say their bands want to play there.
According to the Washington Post, the Air Force said Area 51 is an open training range for the U.S. Air Force, and they are discouraging anyone from trying to come into the area where we train American armed forces. That according to a statement. Roberts telling 23 ABC he's surprised federal officials have not contacted him about the event. We'll of course keep you updated with what happens.
The Bakersfield Police Department is asking for the public's help in identifying 4 suspects wanted for questioning in a robbery of the Albertsons located on Panama Lane. Police say it happened on May 30th, just before 11 at night. Take a look at the pictures on your screen. Full descriptions for all 4 suspects can be found on our website right now at turnto23.com. If you know who these people are or have information regarding the robbery, you are asked to call BPD at 327-7111. And the Bakersfield Police Department is asking for your help tonight in identifying a suspect wanted for attempted fraudulent use of a credit card. According to BPD, the incident happened on July 6th at about 7 o'clock at night at a local convenience store. The suspect is described as a Hispanic man between 20 and 30 years old, about 5'6" to 5'9" tall, weighing around 140 to 160 pounds with a shaved head. He was last seen wearing a white tank top and blue jeans. Anyone with information regarding the investigation is asked to call BPD at 327-7111.
U.S. Marshals arresting a man here in Bakersfield who was on the run following a shooting in L.A. 41-year-old Deon Biddle taken into custody yesterday in Bakersfield. The alleged shooting happened in South L.A. on May 17th, according to LAPD. The victims contacting LAPD identifying Biddle and his girlfriend as the suspects that chased them down in a car, pulled up next to them, opened fire, and then took off. Biddle's girlfriend later arrested. Members of the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force developing leads, learning Biddle was not only living in Bakersfield, according to them, but employed by a construction company and working on a remodel project. Yesterday, U.S. Marshals arrested Biddle near the Valley Plaza Mall. He's been taken into custody in L.A. County to face charges. Your electric bill could soon be going up as California regulators debate whether to approve a rate hike amid wildfire and safety concerns. The California Public Utilities Commission holding the first in a series of meetings to allow feedback on PG&E's request to bill 16 million customers an additional $2 billion for the next 3 years to help pay for wildfire safety improvements and safety costs. The utility's new CEO, Bill Johnson, listening to everyone who expressed their opinions. The most constant theme from the 14 public speaking events was to not impose the rate hike. If granted in December, PG&E would get another $1 billion above current rates in 2020, $454 million in 2021, and $486 million in 2022. Next year, that would add about $11 a month to the current average PG&E bill. There are 7 public meetings scheduled around the state, including one in Bakersfield coming up on August 13th.
Kern County has had a mild evening, but this afternoon was just a bit warm. We are seeing winds increase across the region, so that's actually going to be dropping temperatures down several degrees from what we were feeling this time yesterday. That is going to be for tomorrow, but 82 degrees right now here in Bakersfield. And look at this, clear blue skies across the county, and that is going to be the trend as we head into your Friday and Saturday. Up in the Kern River Valley, they are in those mid to upper 70s, down into the 60s in Tehachapi, as well as in Pine Mountain Club. But we are seeing these winds increasing a little bit earlier today. They're looking relatively calm across the region right now, but that is not going to be the case tomorrow, because look at this. It's going to be mild in the morning, 76 degrees by 8 a.m. By noon in those 80s, and today we were actually seeing those 90s by 1 o'clock. So we aren't going to be seeing as warm of temperatures tomorrow, but I have more details on what that means for your weekend forecast coming up next.
For the first time in years, members of the House approved a piece of legislation aimed at raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. Democrats pushed the bill through today, but the measure is not likely to survive the Senate floor. A raise in the hourly wage has been a hot topic for the Democratic presidential campaign. If the measure passes, the legislation would pay tipped workers the same wage as others earning the minimum for the first time in American history. It's a move that some Republican lawmakers say would be a job killer.
Big dollars coming to Kern County, hoping to get kids interested in public service and civic engagement. Assemblyman Rudy Salas securing $12 million in funding from the state budget to be used over the next 3 years for a youth and family initiative. The initiative, a collaborative statewide project between the Dolores Huerta Foundation and the Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom Center, training youth and family members for meaningful leadership roles and civic participation. A leadership team of 200 young people will be recruited and selected from middle and high schools in Kern, Fresno, Alameda, and Contra Costa counties. The initiative aims to give kids and their families a better understanding of government and civic institutions, encouraging participation among disenfranchised youth and their families in regions throughout the state.
You can wipe out any fees you may have at the Kern County Library as they are continuing their amnesty program this year. For the entire month of August, residents will have the opportunity to clear fees on their Kern County Library card by reading, donating, or returning materials at any of the Kern County Library's 24 branches or 2 bookmobiles. This limited offer does not apply to accounts already in collections. Kids and teens can pick up a read as much as you can reading log and turn it into the library, and all fees will be forgiven. Adults can donate a library item, animal care item, or canned food item. They say you can also just return the items you previously misplaced or forgot to turn in. For more information, head to our website, turnto23.com.
Coming up, more on President Trump now distancing himself from his own supporters after Democrats, even some Republicans, criticizing crowd reaction from a rally last night.
And Krispy Kreme is celebrating its birthday tomorrow. The details on the deal they're offering for customers that you could say is pretty sweet. Allison?
And we are tracking fresh winds making their way into Kern County. I'll let you know what that means for below seasonal temperatures to start your weekend. Coming up next.
Welcome back. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar returning to Minnesota tonight, one day after Trump supporters chanted "Send her back" after the president criticized Omar in his speech. ABC's Chuck Sievertson is now tracking the latest, including the president saying he wished his supporters had stopped.
One day after those controversial chants of "Send her back" at a Trump rally in North Carolina, cheers of support for Representative Ilhan Omar as she returned to Minnesota, the Somali-born U.S. citizen firing back at President Trump.
His nightmare is seeing the beautiful mosaic fabric of our country welcome someone like me as their member of Congress.
The Congresswoman back in her home state hosting a town hall on Medicare for All.
The American healthcare system is broken. It is a moral imperative that we fix it.
In his speech Wednesday night, the president doubling down on his racist Twitter attack of 4 Democratic congresswomen, including Omar.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Today, the president disavowing those words of his supporters.
I was not happy with it. I disagree with it. But again, I didn't say that, they did.
A Republican congressman from North Carolina who was at that rally tweeted he, quote, struggled with the chant and that the words were painful to our friends in the minority communities. Republican House Leader Kevin McCarthy defended the president.
Are you going to hold him accountable, too, for whatever any protesters or something else does it? I think that's an unfair position.
The president was asked what his message to his supporters who were chanting would be.
Well, these are people that love our country. I want them to keep loving our country.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News, New York.
Well, tonight, dog lovers and wine aficionados came out to support a local animal shelter raising funds to provide care for abandoned or stray animals. The Alpha Canine Sanctuary held its annual fundraiser at Imbibe Wine and Spirits tonight. The event served as a chance to help the dogs at Alpha while enjoying a complimentary dinner of pasta and wine. Those who went to the event were asked to donate $25 at the door. Alpha has held a fundraiser at Imbibe since 2012. According to the sanctuary's director, the event typically sees about 80 people attend each year and raises several $1,000s from tickets and drawings. That money helps Alpha pay for vet bills and other costs associated with caring for up to 100 dogs at a time.
It brings in a goodly amount of money, and it takes money to take care of 100 dogs. It takes a lot. And it also gets our name out there. We like the publicity. People need to know about us as though they can adopt from us, bring us animals. We need to stay in the public eye. This is great for them.
The organization holds 3 large fundraisers every year. This one with Imbibe, one at California Pizza Kitchen, and another at the Original Roadhouse Grill. Alzheimer's disease impacts thousands of lives here in Kern County. Tonight, you have a chance to help make a difference in the fight against Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's, of course, affecting the brain, impacting a person's memory and motor skills. And while the annual Walk to End Alzheimer's doesn't take place until October, the Alzheimer's Association hosting a kickoff event tonight at the Padre Hotel in downtown Bakersfield. The kickoff event geared toward educating people on the impacts of the disease and providing information on the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which will happen at the Park and Riverwalk, as we mentioned, in October. More information on the walk, how to form a team, right now on our website, turnto23.com. You scream, I scream, we all scream for Krispy Kreme. If you're looking for a sweet treat at a cheap price, then be sure to stop by the popular donut shop tomorrow. The donut chain is giving away a dozen donuts for $1 in celebration of its birthday. All you have to do is buy a dozen at regular price. For more information and details on the promotion, be sure to head to our website, turnto23.com. The Krispy Kreme in Bakersfield is located at 9401 Rosedale Highway. It is advised that you should show up early, though, because in the past there have been in long lines for this deal.
And lots of people just screaming. So,
yes.
you know.
You screaming, I'm screaming.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's screaming.
That's good.
Okay, let's move it along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weather forecast is going to be not bad for this time of the year. And Allison, this weekend's nice. Next week, a little warmer.
Unfortunately, next week is going to be warm, and we did feel the triple digits just slightly here in the valley, but that isn't going to be the case as we head into the weekend. But July has been relatively cool. The hottest day was actually this past Sunday with a high of 104. Looks like we could be seeing that again later this week. But Kern County is seeing nice sunny and stable conditions. Monsoonal moisture down in Arizona, and that's going to be a key player as we head into next week's forecast. But there's a low pressure system to our north, bringing a fresh westerly flow onshore. So that's going to cause a slight cooling trend beginning on Friday, continuing into Saturday. So you can expect below seasonal temperatures as we head into the weekend. So winds will be picking up, maybe not right now, but by 6 p.m. tomorrow, the western portion of the valley going to be seeing those wind gusts reaching up to 20 miles per hour, and our mountain and desert cities could be seeing 35 mile per hour winds. So again, that's going to keep air quality in the moderate range. And look at this, below seasonal temperatures, 95 degrees will be our high here in Bakersfield. Again, average for this time of year is 98. So it's going to be feeling nice, some relief from those triple digits, and air quality is going to be exactly the same as what we were seeing today with an AQI of 54. And we're going to be seeing those 90s continue into your Sunday, and then high pressure is going to be dominating Monday through really next Saturday. We're going to be seeing temperatures range anywhere from 101 up to 103 degrees. But by the middle of next week, we are tracking that monsoonal moisture that we saw in Arizona making its way into the eastern portion of the county. So anywhere from Tuesday, Wednesday to Thursday, the mountain and our desert cities do have a chance to see some isolated thunderstorms. So that's something that we are going to be tracking as we get closer. But temperatures in the Kern River Valley tomorrow, 91, and then in those low 80s in the mountains. So not too bad for a Friday. We'll take it.
Especially on a Friday.
Yeah.
We'll always take those kinds of temperatures.
A lot of events going on this weekend in Pine Mountain Club too, so perfect weather to get
it's
up
going
there.
to be so nice out there.
All right, what's going on in sports?
In sports, we got a little baseball coming up because the Phillies, they were looking to even up a 4-game series with those Dodgers, but did the Dodgers block them? We'll find out after the break. Welcome back to 23 ABC Sports. Earlier this week, I caught up with local product Logan Gillespie, who's chasing his major league dreams in the Brewers organization, following in the footsteps of another Bakersfield baseball player. And here's a look of some of what that interview was with Gillespie as he reflects on his journey in the minors. All the way in Wisconsin right now. We're back here in Bakersfield, your hometown. First thing I got to ask you, what do you miss about Bakersfield?
Not the weather right now, but my family, of course, everyone that's there supported me.
Been in the minors for about a year now. Can you tell me just what has that been like for people who probably don't understand all the dedication and discipline that goes into the minor league journey?
Oh, it's brutal. You wake up, go to the field, get better, and then if we're having away games, 5-hour bus rides. It's a grind.
How would you explain it from your perspective, you getting to play in the Brewers organization right now?
Yeah, it's just another day playing baseball. I don't look at it like playing with a professional team, but when I do, it's really cool.
There's another Bakersfield boy in the majors and with the Brewers, Corbin Burns. How cool is that for you guys both to be representing Bakersfield?
Doing it for the hometown, 661.
I love it. So you rep Bakersfield pretty proud out there in Wisconsin?
Yes.
If you could one day be in the bullpen alongside your fellow Bakersfield native, Corbin Burns, how special would that be for you?
It'd be pretty cool because we played each other when we were younger on the little league teams. And we were just growing up. We always wanted to be in the big leagues. So that would be really cool to sit next to him. Obviously,
you're playing for your major league dreams, but what ultimately are you playing for in this whole journey?
That's a good question. I just like to play baseball, I guess.
Pretty simple when it comes down to it, just like playing ball.
Yeah.
And that's it. He loves the game. Well, Logan, he started tonight in Wisconsin. The Timber Rattlers beat the Cubs single-A affiliate by 1. Through 6 innings pitched, Logan gave up 4 runs on 8 hits and threw 3 strikeouts. He wouldn't earn the win tonight, but he holds a 3-5 record. And of course, we want to say thank you to him for taking time out to give us that interview. Well, to some major league action. In the second here, the Dodgers facing off against the Phillies. The Phillies lead 1-0. Matt Beatty hits a solo home run to right off Aaron Nola, tied up at 1. Then in the fourth, Kike Hernandez because he's going to hit a 2-run shot to left. The Dodgers take that 4-3 lead. Beatty and Kike combined for 7 hits tonight, but bottom of the 7th, Dodgers with a 5-4 lead. Bryce Harper, he's going to hit an RBI double off Joe Kelly. It ties it up at 5. Then his teammate Rhys Hoskins with a 2-run single secures the win for the home team as those Phillies beat up on the Dodgers bullpen, winning this one 7-6. Well, throughout this week, I feel like we've been taking a tour around the world, talking about Chris Roderick and the World Swim Championships in South Korea to the Australian baseball players taking over Bakersfield. Well, today we are featuring a Hungarian water polo team and their players who came to Bakersfield to join a well-known club. For more than a decade, the California Club water polo teams have hosted Hungarian players during the summer. The team in Bakersfield has a few in the pool right now, along with some local talent. And as the club trains and competes over at Garces Memorial High School, it sounds like it's been a summer to remember, of course, because of the competition, but also because of the American culture. One of those athletes is going to miss it when he heads home.
I will be very, very sad. So it will be one of the most nice memory in my life. In Hungary, we only have McDonald's and KFC and Burger King, but my favorite is In-N-Out Burger. I tried it and it was so good.
I can see why he loves Bakersfield so much, because we just have all the best food, right? It sounds like
he nailed it. In-N-Out. That's it right there.
Hope someone showed him Animal Style before.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
If not, take note.
Got to head over there and let them know.
Sounds good. Bring us some.
I know.
Sounds delicious.
We're hungry.
I guess.
Maybe. And when we come back, I have one final check of your forecast. Temperatures are going to be feeling nice outside tomorrow.
Hey, it's Mike.
And Alyssa.
Join us for 23 ABC, first at 4:30.
Dozens of furry officers are going to be taking over Rob-A-Bank. We'll have details on the annual canine trials.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Elena Russ, bringing you a cool down just in time for your weekend. What it means for all those events out there on 23 ABC, first at 4:30.
Welcome back. The countdown for Friday is on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Well,
you guys got this. 29 minutes?
Yeah.
Almost
Good.
28 minutes.
We're gonna get there.
And
Nice
it's not
weekend
going
to
to
go
be
with
too
it.
bad out there. Yeah, we are tracking fresh winds moving into the county beginning early tomorrow morning. That's going to cause temperatures to be below seasonal for your Friday. A high of 95 degrees here in Bakersfield. And we are holding on to those 90s as long as we can through Sunday. And then Monday, the triple digits are back in monsoonal moisture. That means it's going to be a little moist out there.
Darn.
Hot, 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 hot.
Hot, 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 hot.
We need an In-N-Out milkshake.
Sound effect for that. Yeah.
There you go.